All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We've spent a lot of time talking about all the amazing things that ExtensisHR is doing for charter schools, but I think it's time to unpack what makes it all work, and that's the co-employment model.
It's a model that can sound a bit, well, complicated at first glance.
I'll admit, when I first heard the term co-employment, I pictured like a tangled web of legal documents and shared responsibilities.
Yeah, it's definitely got a reputation for being a bit confusing.
So maybe we can start by just breaking down what co-employment actually means in the context of a charter school partnering with a PEO like ExtensisHR.
Sure. At its core, co-employment is really just about, sharing certain employer responsibilities between the school and the PEO.
Okay, so it's like a division of labor.
Exactly. So the school, being the educational expert, they obviously maintain full control over all the things that are core to their mission, like hiring decisions, what curriculum they're using, all the day-to-day operations of the school.
They're still the captain of the ship when it comes to the educational side of things.
Absolutely. And then the PEO, they step in as what's called the employer of record for certain administrative functions.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people get tripped up.
Yeah.
What exactly does employer of record mean in this context?
It basically means that the PEO, in this case, ExtensisHR, they assume the legal responsibility for things like, making sure payroll is processed correctly, handling all the tax compliance stuff, and managing those employee benefits.
So they're taking on all the behind-the-scenes HR heavy lifting.
You got it. And because PEOs like ExtensisHR, they specialize in all of this, they can often do it much more efficiently and cost-effectively than a school could do on its own.
That makes a lot of sense.
Now, I know one of the biggest concerns that school leaders have about co-employment is this fear of losing control over their employees.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But it's really important to understand that co-employment doesn't mean giving up that control.
Okay, so walk me through that.
The school, they still have the final say on who they hire, who they let go, how they evaluate their staff, and all those day-to-day management decisions.
So ExtensisHR isn't telling them who to hire or how to run their classrooms.
Not at all. Their role is to provide support and guidance, but the school is still firmly in the driver's seat.
It's about finding that balance between shared responsibilities, making sure that the school maintains its autonomy.
Exactly. And when it's done right, co-employment can really be a win-win situation for both the school and the employees.
Now let's talk about those wins. What are some of the specific benefits that schools see from this co-employment model?
Well, I think we've already touched on some of the big ones, like, that reduction in administrative burden, access to all those HR experts, and the potential for some pretty significant cost savings.
It goes even deeper than that, right?
It does. Co-employment can also be a real game changer when it comes to risk management.
Risk management, interesting.
Yeah. So by working with a PEO, schools can be much more confident that they're compliant with all those, constantly changing labor laws and regulations.
Oh, that's huge, especially for charter schools that might not have the resources to hire a full-time legal team.
Exactly. It's like having a built-in safety net.
And I imagine it also helps with things like attracting and retaining top-notch teachers.
Absolutely. Because PEOs can often leverage their buying power to get better rates on benefits, schools can offer their employees these really competitive packages.
Which is a big deal in today's market.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's a major selling point.
So it's not just about, streamlining paperwork and saving money. It's about creating this more supportive and rewarding work environment for everyone.
Precisely. And when you've got happy and engaged employees, that ultimately benefits the students, too.
Absolutely. Now, before we wrap things up, I think it's worth noting that co-employment isn't just about the practical benefits.
It's got a deeper meaning.
I think so. In a way, co-employment really embodies that spirit of collaboration and partnership that's so essential to the charter school movement.
You're right. It's about recognizing that we don't have to do it all alone.
We're stronger together.
Exactly. And by pooling our resources and expertise, we can achieve so much more.
And ultimately, it's about empowering educators to focus on what they're truly passionate about, inspiring and educating the next generation.
Well said.
So, if you're a charter school leader out there who's feeling overwhelmed by the administrative side of things, I highly encourage you to explore the possibilities of co-employment.
It could be the key to unlocking your school's true potential.
Couldn't agree more. And with that, We're going to wrap up this deep dive into the world of charter schools and PEO partnerships.
It's been an enlightening journey.
It really has. A huge thank you to our expert for sharing all of their valuable insights.
It's been my pleasure.
And to all of our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it informative and inspiring.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
And keep those minds engaged.